All right,
Yeah.
you gotta hit us because where like last week is a blur of saltiness and fighting, in-game fighting, out-of-game saltiness. Remind me what happened last week, where we left off
I
specifically.
got punched a lot,
You did
and now
get
I have a giant leg for 2 more hours.
Well, let's see. Try as I might, I was not able to drop thunk, and that was the one thing that really kind of stands out for the session. So sorry, I'm gonna just stop trying and hope that it happens on its own now. So let's see what happened last week. You guys had left Luskin the week prior, literally ended with leaving Luskin the week prior, traveling on the road, and you come across a situation where you literally see across a river a group of humans standing amongst like a couple of flames, whatever they have, shortly after nightfall. And you're like, oh, that's kind of peculiar, but let's just avoid them. Maybe they'll avoid us, and that works. It actually does happen. But then you notice that there are some orcs kind of like up behind this walled area, slightly on up some steps or whatever. And you're like, okay, well, they're orcs. We like orcs. Let's go check this out. Turns out that these orcs are actually some priestesses to the cave mother, which is the wife of Grumsh in the god realm. And so it's Luthic is her name. So you guys are going to see them. They have a plight where they're trying to smuggle a baby. It's an Urog baby or Orog baby, which is a special type of orc that's born rarely. They are more powerful. And they're trying to smuggle it away because the war chief is trying to kill this thing because he's afraid it's going to overtake his position and blah, 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 blah. So you're getting attacked from behind by different parts of his tribe, something to like try to kill the baby. And if need be, the sisters as well, but hopefully just the baby. You are able to thwart that plan, but in doing so, got the living shit kicked out of you. And so here you are. You've defeated everything that the war chief has thrown at you thus far, except for the one, the weird, creepy guy with like white hands that was going on, like all sorts of disease and stuff. You were able to have a conversation with him and convince him not to take the baby. It was really easy, and he went away. Here you are, broken, bloodied, beaten, except for, Otto and Rye. They're kind of doing great. Broken, bloodied, and beaten, and standing there going, well, they still need to cross that river. There's still humans on the other side of the river, and we're still on this side of the river. What do we do?
Yes. Before we continue, your mic is auto-adjusting like crazy.
Minus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets loud and then quiet.
You go quiet, and then it's like, ah! I'm like,
that's crazy.
So you have it like your mic must have like auto-adjust on.
That's funny because I never have issues like that ever.
Your mic tends to auto-adjust, but it's never like that.
No. Yeah, it's not as bad as this. Maybe it's just me. I will try to just speak.
It's definitely your microphone. I promise.
Okay, well, I will try to fix that. In the meanwhile, you guys talk.
Well, I think where we left off, because this is the first fight that ever fucking drained me completely of spells. Like, I'm fucking out. Grommen is looking like hell.
I have 4 HP.
Yeah, you're hanging in there. Right, like, you don't have a number of spells per day, right?
Nope.
Yeah, so you're fine. And Otto, he might be fine?
I have short rest spells, though.
Okay. Well, I think the idea here, as I was saying, I think we need to rest. Like, if we can have the opportunity to take a rest, I think that needs to happen. I have no spells. I'm almost dead. Grommen's almost...
We do have a scroll of sleep.
That's true.
But that only solves one of those problems. So...
Yeah.
Well, a scroll of sleep. So let me know if this is any better or not. A scroll of sleep.
I'll let you know.
Yep, a scroll of sleep is to put people to sleep as per the attack spell. It's not like it replenishes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's lame. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding, the humans on the other side of the river have no intention of crossing the river, but the orcs need to cross the river. So, we are safe in resting temporarily and should not expect to be attacked in the middle of the night or however long we need to sleep, with luck.
The war chief wants that baby dead. You are between the war chief and that baby dead. So
well, I mean, it's going to take a while before he finds out.
We did just kill like all of those. Everyone the war chief sent is dead.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's going to take some.
Man, it's going to take that old dude a while to get back.
Yeah, it's going to take a while before he knows that his men are all dead. It's not a. It shouldn't be a like within 10 minutes. Like, oh fuck, he knows.
Listen, he is a worshiper of Grumsh, and Grumsh is the one who watches. Perhaps he was using magical abilities to be able to view the battle from.
We're having a short rest.
We need to rest a little bit at least.
More show up, then more die.
Yep, no problem.
Your
Well,
hands got-
I can tell you, short rest, no problem. You guys can have a short rest, which of course puts a smile on Rye's face because that doesn't affect. Rye's happy with a short rest.
Yeah, I'm completely doesn't help me at all.
Mm-hmm.
you guys
Yeah,
want a
I don't know
long
if it helps me either. I think it kind of can if we get a song, maybe a song of rest or something, maybe.
No, the plot Yeti's about to burst
You
out of
guys
the
need-
ground and
you guys
like
need a
suck
long
Otto
rest,
out.
huh?
So
What? No,
Plot
Bear.
Yeti's waifu.
yeah, the waifu of the plot Yeti's about to show up.
think-
Bear, look at Bear. Bear's doing perfectly. Oops, sorry, this way. I think.
Yeah, that way.
I think it's this way.
Yep, you got it
Bear's
now.
doing perfectly fine. Bear,
He's
you're
waving.
good. Bear, you good? Good. Bear's good.
We
You,
definitely
you
need,
get the song of rest.
we definitely need a long rest.
Yes, we need a long rest. We need to make an attempt on a long rest.
Yep. Okay. Well, you guys definitely get the short rest. Let's see if the long rest happens. So during the short rest, Bear is of course able to do the song of healing and whatnot, and everything's all fine and dandy. How are you doing watches? What's the plan here? Is everybody's gonna kind of like pass out and hope that the ladies watching are gonna be able to do it for you?
I think
or
the watches should.
I think
Me-
the least those orc ladies can do is fucking stand watch and tell
Yeah, after doing nothing the entire fight, I think
Wow.
watching would be good.
Least.
well, they did so much. Okay. You know what? No, you don't understand. One, they got the baby. Two, they brought the baby. And three, they defended the baby. And four, they gave you guys all those D4s and all those +2
I would like to
ACs.
argue that plot point number 3 is questionable. They didn't defend the baby.
Yeah.
We defended the baby.
Fine, then 3 points still
Yeah,
remain.
There you go.
Gromit is gonna like find an area that looks comfortable enough. Maybe use a rock for a pillow and lean up against it. Look at his wait, what's his name again? Eagle eye, feather face, beak bottom, and just say, "You wake me up if you see trouble." And he's just gonna lean back. He's gonna go to sleep.
So you want the eagle to stay up throughout the night? Eagles are usually diurnal creatures, not it's not an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the eagle will stay up. So I just that would mean that the eagle is going to be effectively useless the next day because it's like, I'm a bird, you know. So that's perfectly fine. Anybody else? Anything you want to?
I have nothing. I can't do anything.
So you guys are just going to hard rest. Screw this like watches thing. The girls are going to take care of it for you.
I only need a short rest, so as soon as I wake up, I can just keep watch.
Not a problem. So it is around when. So you take a short rest. So you're probably literally like, guys, I'm just going to close my eyes for an hour. Just leave me alone for an hour. Shortly after you wake up from your power nap, you are kind of like getting up, moving around, settling in. Your friends are around you, sleeping. When all of a sudden you see Otto kind of like jumps and like what was that? And you kind of like rush over to Otto to see what's wrong. And you see pulls out of his neck. It looks like a long spine, or I don't know. It's like a thin metal thing that is on him or something, and it was in his neck. And he's like, "What is this? What did I drink? Whoa. Roman needs some of this." Oh. And then passes out. And Otto is straight passed out. But as that happens,
I gotta go with the plot dart.
yes,
The plot dart.
yes, the
Yeah.
plot dart is actually shot by a plot yeti who's hiding in the snow. And after that happens, you guys immediately hear afterwards lots of like movement or whatever happening in the mountain region around you. You hear that there's like commotion happening. People are moving around, shuffling. You can't exactly pinpoint where they are. This is Rye who notices this. I would say that immediately after there's that commotion with Otto, because of his passive perception, even though he's asleep, it's just still so high. What's his face there? Thonk would wake up. Gromit, could you roll me a perception check with disadvantage really quickly? The DC will be 10. Okay, Gromit sleeps through it. So you wake up, Thonk. Rye, you witness this. How do you guys react to it?
An angry. Go ahead.
I cast Thaumaturgy
Mhm.
and just like whistles, just a loud like four-fingered whistle.
Awesome. So you like a huge loud whistle. Grommen, I'm not even going to make you roll. That 8 is high enough that all of a sudden you wake up from Rye's really loud whistle. Thonk, what do you do?
I mean, Thonk's gonna get up and have his spear at the ready and try and get next to Otto, I guess. And stand by him. I can't. But the thing is, I can't heal him. Like, I'm fucked. I can't heal him.
No problem. So you just kind of like stand by Otto and crouch over him, just kind of like see what he had in his hand. You notice that it was the needle that Rye had already noticed before. You're kind of looking at it and you're like, mother. Maybe even like take it and like, tuck it away so you have it for the future. Hopefully we'll accidentally stab you with it in the future. And you do that. Grommen is just now waking up and kind of groggy or whatever. But what does Grommen do when she hears that like high pitched pealing whistle?
He like at first wakes up and is like, and then hears the whistling some more. Immediately grabs his axe and runs to the like opening of the gate, the thing, and runs to it and looks around and realizes like no one else is there, and then kind of like looks around to see what happened.
Okay, so they you kind of look around to try to like take in what happened or whatever, and you just see that there's commotion going on. You're not sure exactly what's happening until all of a sudden you see a few arrows that are lit with fire are shot into the air from, again, off into the darkness. They does light up for a moment when you see the arrows actually light up. You see areas where these creatures obviously work, so they lit the arrows to shoot them. And so they shoot the arrows into the air and they all go landing at the tent in an attempt to try to set the tent on fire. Luckily, it's a magical tent and it does not catch fire.
This is
they actually just kind of like slide off.
Behind us, not across the river.
Correct.
Okay.
It's from behind you. It's from like further up the mountain. 5 arrows were shot.
We
Okay.
need to fucking run.
So I can see that the arrows are coming from that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then I immediately turn around. And I'm where's my bird?
Standing watch and screaming for you.
Okay. I'm gonna like
whatever
motion
eagles
for
do.
him to come down, and then look for the rest of my crew and kind of go over to talk to them.
If I take a quick peek outside the tent across the river, are the torches still lit and the humans still there?
Well, you can't really see it from the tent itself. I mean, hold on, I'm just gonna pull your
When I
eyes
say
out
out
this
the
area.
tent, I mean like not out the tent, but like the this wooden bridge thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. They are in fact still lit. Yes.
And they're still
It's only been since the first time you traveled over this way. It's only been maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours at most.
Okay. Fuck.
Hmm.
We just can't fight right now. That's the problem. Like we just can't.
Well, you're going to be able to have spent all your HD to get your health points back up. You are missing all of your powers.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
So what's your plan then, Mr. Thunk?
Well, hold on. How many HD?
Christ doesn't exist in this world.
How many HD do I get to reroll?
You're level 4.
So it's
You press the
roll,
button
right?
4 times. Yep. If you actually go in your character sheet, there's a button that says hit die, hit it.
Where is that again? I don't see it.
Character sheet in the center.
I'm in the character sheet. I see.
See? Maggie's pressing it.
I get she's pressing it, but I don't see it.
Good job, Maggie.
You did it, Maggie.
Woo! Just saying Maggie's the hero here.
Hit dice. It's a
With
0.
40 health points regained. All right. I'm gonna guide you through this.
No, I got
oh, you found them.
one.
Okay.
2.
Average so far.
Yeah. That brings me to 22 out of 32. I might as well just burn one more.
Yeah, did you go one more? Definitely. Ah, now it's like playing, what is it?
All right. Fuck it. I'm
awesome,
close
never
enough to
mind.
max after burning.
That's
all
wow.
4.
Wow. When Maggie got 40, you got 21. That's a
I'll
that's
take
a
what I can.
difference.
I'll take what I can.
Jeez. Wow. Okay. Awesome.
I get a D12 though, and he only gets a D8, so it's not really fair.
Yeah.
For
He rolled a 5.
comparison.
He rolled a 5 out of the way. So,
So the
I'm a big boy.
So Grommen can fight, Rye can fight, I can fight, but like my abilities are gone and I can't throw out any heals. And Otto is down, so there's no heroism available and there's no temp HP, like renewable temp HP source available for us.
mm-hmm.
And how many if Thonk had to make a guesstimate when he saw the arrows light up, how many arrows do I think I saw?
5. It was exactly 5.
It was only 5 arrows.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like some kind of sleep poison on them or something. So Grumman's gonna walk over and be like, "What happened?" And he see Otto's like sleeping
Yeah,
still.
yeah. You see Thong kind of like he was crouched over Otto. He stands up and he's holding the dart in his hand. The wait a minute. The dart had to have come from close then. Oh fuck. I hold the dart.
All of a sudden, Thong makes that connection.
Yeah, no, he probably does. Yeah, he's probably holding the dart and he's like, oh fuck. The orcs are here. There are some, and he waves the dart incredibly close, and those at range trying to keep us suppressed.
Can anyone see all the fucking status?
I see it, but I don't have the combat screen open.
I can hear the slow clicking as he tries to delete them all.
I'm like, delete.
There's like 1,000 of them.
So anyways, yeah, so so he says that like try to like bring alert or attention or whatever to like, oh shit, some of them are really nearby, and try to like get you guys attention to that. How do you like, what do you guys want to do?
What I want to do is
Go
I'm
ahead.
dropping frames. Is what I want to do. I've dropped 2,400 frames.
Yeah, are all the orc women up and about?
They are, yes. Actually, they're up. They're all inside the tent, surrounded by the baby and whatnot. You can see a few of them are kind of like ready to cast spells if need be.
Okay, cool.
Grumman wants to check.
If Thonk is, sorry, Maggie, if Thonk is not standing over protecting Otto completely, they'll actually drag Otto into the tent and kind of like stand protectively over him as well, as much as they don't like the fact that
Grumman will pick him up and put him in the tent.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to call time here. I'm dropping frames like 100 or so a second.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring the stream down. I'm gonna quickly reboot the modem and I'll bring it back up. Be right back.
Yeah,
guys.
you're even lagging on our.
Yeah, it might be the internet. All right, I'll be back. Sorry, guys. My bad.
Hey,
I was
shoot.
thinking quick and dirty RP, but I feel like that went out the window when I realized the dude of the dart is probably incredibly close.
It's up to you, buddy.
It's not up to me. It's up to the party.
I mean, you want me to diplomacy this?
No.
Yeah, Grumman, you do it.
No. Fuck. Do I really want to try and bargain with the humans to just get safe passage across?
Do you think it's the humans?
No.
We don't even know it's the humans.
My idea. Let me apologize. Maybe I didn't explain it fast enough, or well enough rather. Was that I was gonna try and do quick and dirty diplomacy with the humans to get us all safe passage across the river to get away from the orcs that are attacking us.
Gotcha. I
could
totally
do-
misunderstood.
Yeah,
you.
it was poorly explained on my behalf. My apologies.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to do a diplomacy with the orcs because
I was thinking, but clearly they don't give a shit. Like, we've killed 2 contingents of their soldiers, and they're back for more. So, the chieftain is going to continue.
Maybe they haven't seen the other orcs,
Well,
the dead ones.
if that orc, who the White Hands orc, is from that tribe, which I assume they are, then they know. Then they 100% know. I can't really do diplomacy. What are you guys thinking? Let's party chat here.
I mean, we've always tried to do the diplomacy thing first, right? And then if it doesn't work, we just smash their faces.
But do you want to try and get? Do you think like getting across the river or try and diplomacy with the orcs?
Well, if our mission is to save the baby,
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking, Sam? You're muted.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've killed so many that we could talk away out the whole situation.
We can try. Sure. All right. So the thing I'm gonna go do. Did White Hands McGee take all of the bodies over time or no?
Nope, never even touched a single one of them. You said he could have them, and he said thank you, and he walked away very slowly.
All right,
so, like, I think Sam was saying at some point in time, there's no way he would have gotten back to the chief by now, and that's a very feasible assessment of the way that man was
Yeah.
moving.
So like then the chieftain sent another wave after these guys. That blows my mind. This guy is that dead
It's
set
very
on this thing.
feasible that these guys are if we don't come back by this time.
Come find us situation, yeah, or
Yeah.
finish it up. So Thong is gonna go out here, out to where he killed. I want to take this guy. Basically, I want to take this guy's head outside, the leader that was initially there, and I want to take this guy's head here, the other obvious leader.
Yep.
And I want to take both their heads, and to the best of my ability, like I basically orcish diplomacy, like throw them at the orcs in like a defiant manner of like, Do you really want to
So-
fucking do this?
so
know
because
what I
you-
mean?
But
But I
you
don't-
didn't-
feel like
you
this
Come
is
with him
diplomacy.
and like be like the bodyguard behind him.
I don't feel like this is diplomacy, guys. I feel like this is just a threat.
Like an intimidation or something. Yeah.
That's fine too. Welcome to being an orc.
Okay, so you
Yeah, this is how orcs diplomacy. Okay, Rye.
this the map overlay isn't open, so just to describe it, you're stepping outside of the area where the arrows are coming from behind. You're walking out the front, grabbing the head of the guy that fell to his knees and you killed anyways, and then you're grabbing the head of the guy that almost murdered you. That was like the sneaky person leader.
Yeah.
You're grabbing these two heads and you're bringing them over back to the area where the arrows were coming from, and you know that the dart came from over that way, and you're like, okay, this is kind of a dangerous place, and you're literally hurling either one at a time or both at the same time, whatever the heads
Yes,
over
correct.
into where they are. You saw where because to shoot a flaming arrow, there has to be fire before it hits the air, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
you're not lighting it midair unless you use a magic. So you saw where like at least some of the arrows shot from, unless they've moved. So I know you're aiming towards that direction. What is it your character says as he's hurling heads, at least at these little areas, to try to get their attention?
He's shouting for them essentially to stand down or suffer the same fate.
Mm-hmm. So
Very
just
much that.
Yeah.
I just want me to be in range where if I throw it, it's gonna land near their feet so they can see what I'm doing.
not worried about that. And if you think that might be kind of a long range, you kind of like nudge Grom and hand it to him, and Grom and strong arms it for you.
But it's
The pops out a
essentially
potion.
it is very much a stand down.
To be clear, by the way, sorry, before we go on with any of this serious stuff, what also happened last session was Maggie had a little surprise as Grumman tried a new potion that he purchased from
Correct.
a wonderful, well-known apothecary, and drank that potion, hoping to get bigger, and he did. Really tall in his one and large extremity leg, because that's.
But
what
I
the
think that
potion
time has
was.
passed because we rolled and it was
Yes.
2 hours.
You rest. No, you're fine. You rested. That has passed. But I just wanted to be clear that did happen. The reason I brought it up is to say it is now gone, in case there was any questions about it. Moving on.
Gotcha.
So you hurl those things. You say more or less, give up, or else this will become you. And you hurl the heads. Roll for me, Yower. Do you feel
My
as
head
though you're
throwing
being?
roll.
Yeah. Do you feel as though you're being more intimidating or diplomacy with this?
I mean, it probably intimidating would be the right
Yeah.
one. They're both the same role for me, so it's not
Mhm.
a huge deal.
You
You-
just threw heads at them.
Yeah.
You
well,
got- you
orcs
got-
are,
You get Grommen, kind of like standing there being your strong arm next to you, and you are using the heads. You may roll this with advantage. Before you do that, Rye, seeing what he's doing, kind of like getting the plan because you know Thonk well enough, does Rye want to do something along the lines of cast thaumaturgy to make this a bit bigger, or like does she try to amplify the antics?
Let's have a look.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sure. I use prestidigitation to create an odor of death,
like rotting corpse.
like rotting corpse.
Sure. Then you want to cast those like on the heads, so as he hurls the
Yeah.
heads, like that's a
Yeah.
permeating smell with them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Done. Sounds great. It's actually rather putrid. You cast it on there. It's one of those things where Thong's like, and then hurls it. You know what I mean? It's pretty disgusting. All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Roll me your intimidation with advantage, please. Thong.
Please don't suck.
You're gonna thump it up.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you
21.
didn't say I'm gonna do guidance first. You know what I mean?
I didn't even think of that. That's fine.
Yeah.
21. I'll take it.
21. Awesome. So you hurl them, you do that, and then there's like a moment of silence. Then that moment lasts for a bit longer. And then that moment of silence lasts for a very long period of time. And you're like, maybe it worked.
And then 5 arrows come flying down, piercing my body.
Of course, yeah. And then 5 hours go flying by.
Oh, shit.
And your body has time to rest and relax.
So they just so I assume I gave it like 5 minutes, nothing. I don't hear anything. 10 minutes pass, 30 minutes pass, and I feel like they've backed off.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Rye offers to keep watch anyway.
Oh yeah, I would love watch to continue to happen.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, great. And that we were able to knock out a long rest.
You are now. The only you are able to do the long rest, as you had said. The only thing I'm going to say, Sam, is because you guys did a full day of travel and you've only had a short rest. If you choose to do that, which you're more than welcome to do, you will be going into the next day with 1 level of exhaustion. If you fail your Constitution save, it'll be Constitution DC 10.
We'll put the remainder of the heads on spikes and stick them outside for more intimidation.
Okay, sure. Grauman does this kind of oh, nothing's happening yet. So does this while waiting to see if they're going to continue attacking or not anyways. And everything seems fine. You guys are good to go. Perfect. So you do all of that. The next morning does come to the hut eventually kind of folds in on itself and disappears. And the ladies are all still there, surprised that they were able to survive the night. And very, very thankful of the fact that you stepped up and you did the job as well as they did. Now, in the meanwhile, one of the things that they did was they looked over Otto's body and they wanted to see how Otto was doing and whatnot. And so they grabbed together a couple of herbs and whatnot, and they had stuff that they had with them. They grabbed the mortar and pestle and started mixing everything together. And they came together with this sludge that you can brush onto his neck for it to get absorbed into that area. They cut different parts of his body, assuming that you allowed him to do so, doing medicine checks to try to bleed out certain areas to make sure the poison didn't spread too far too quickly. And then they have this leaf. There's a few of them that they're every few hours you need to put one of these leaves under his tongue and make sure he doesn't swallow it. It's poison if he swallows it, but put this leaf under his tongue and he will be fine in a few days. He just needs time to rest. So more or less plot medicine for Otto. And how do you guys handle the next day? After they kind of go over all this, you see Otto's in not a very good state. They grab a couple of long branches that are around or whatever, and some bits of leather or cotton or whatever they might have, and try to make kind of a makeshift stretcher for Otto. One that can be worn, framed thing that can be worn. It's very crude, but I know that Grauman can carry it and wear it if need be so that he's right there with you guys. Because right now he's kind of flopped, and throwing him inside your backpack when he's all flopped like that, is it going to be a good thing for him? So especially mid-combat.
Grauman's thank you. And he tries to figure out how to put the thing on. Maybe he has one of the ladies help him out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when he's doing it, he kind of flexes a little,
Yeah, of course. Now, while you're certainly catching the eye of these ladies of Luthic, it's not breeding time, so rain check. Bing. So, what do you guys do? How you approach this situation of crossing the river?
I guess I want to ride down there and kind of scope it out.
Sure.
On one side.
Do you want to be on your actual horse because you had said the words "ride down there"?
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. I will grab your horse for you really quickly. Which one is Rye? This one. And let's bring you back to the token layer.
And, I'll send my bird friend to go check it out too.
Sounds great. Sam, you're welcome to. And Maggie, here's your bird in case you couldn't find it. Wait, that is the bird, right? No, that is not the bird. That is the lady. Where's your bird? Where's your bird? There it is. Here you go, Maggie. You can probably see it now. And so you go ride down there to check it out. Go right ahead, Sam. So you do that and you look across the way and you can see that the people are still standing in the same exact spots they were standing in beforehand. Now, as you kind of ride down there, you riding down there to spot the thing out. Can you make me a perception check, please?
Yes.
One of the things that you notice is that they have been standing in pretty much the same spots, sans, perhaps taking a piss or something, the entire time that this is happening. So when you look across them, you can see that a good number of them look pretty tired as well. So while you're not fully feeling up to snuff, maybe they aren't either, but they're still standing there. And as you approach, they're literally just watching you. They don't do anything. The archers still have their arrows drawn and their bows drawn and a single arrow knocked, but not drawn backwards. They are not aiming at you or anything like that. They're just watching.
Can I cross the river?
So what you see, as I said beforehand, they're large logs that are tied up with ropes on either side, stringing them across. For you to try to cross the river on the horse, the horse would really have to struggle trying to balance it. Okay. Or you can go against this. You definitely can dismount. Absolutely. Okay. What was I going to say? if you want to try to cross the river itself, like not on the horse, that's totally an option as well. But sorry. If you want to have the horse cross the river, like in the actual water as opposed to on this, totally an option as well. But the horse will have to make like athletics checks.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to just go on foot.
Okay, then if you want to go on foot and cross the way, you're going to be making me acrobatics checks to get across.
Okay.
And what's your speed? You said it's 30, correct?
Yes.
So you're gonna have to get from me 2 acrobatics checks to get across there.
Okay.
Wow, that was thrown very quickly. So you get halfway across the river, so right about here-ish, and then all of a sudden, as you're trying to like step forward or whatever, try to step up to this one, you slip and fall into the water backwards. So you slip and fall into the water, and it's those very unceremonious moments. Make me a dex save really quickly. Okay, so you slip and fall. Oh, but you grab onto the log that's there, and so even though it kind of pushes you to the side a bit with the current, you're able to grab onto the log and not get whisked away with a rope. I should say it's tying them together and not get whisked away. However, this thing isn't designed to be very, very strong. And so, like, as you're grabbing onto the rope, you can hear like you see a couple of bits of twine snap, and the way it's kind of holding the particular log that you're right near, it's kind of pulling out of it because again, it's not very, very well made. It seems like it's supposed to be temporary. So, there you are, still holding on.
I'm gonna attempt to climb back up.
Yeah, you can do another acrobatics checks to climb up. It's going to be harder. So with your 10, you're not going to make any progress, but you're also not going to slip away or anything like that again. Now you can see that watching you do this and seeing how much you're struggling and trying to get across and everything, 2 of the people are actually going to move forward. You are not orcs yourself. You're not an orc yourself. So they actually move forward as though to greet you. Make me one more acrobatics check.
Greetings, person drowning. How are you?
And so you sadly do not, you kind of like slip underneath the water or whatever and get whisked away a little bit by the current. Sam, we're now at a point where you're going to have to start making me athletics checks to swim.
What kind of shitty bridge is this?
Wow, with a -1, you rolled significantly better. So you're actually able to swim back up to here. Roll me another acrobatics to try to get closer. Thank God. And you're actually able to climb yourself back out. And so completely soaked from head to toe in your raven cloak, you know what I mean? All your clothes, whatever you're wearing, armor, whatever, is completely drenched and saturated. Your hair is like a mop against your face. You come crawling out of the water, and, standing up water, just pouring and dripping off of you.
Don't worry, Sam. If you almost drowned, Gromman would have dived into the water and saved you.
Of course, because that worked out so well.
Hey,
or Otto could play his.
Carried like 2 people on my back in what crazy ass storm water.
He did.
So as you go crying out of the water, the lady that's on the horse there, and that's the one that's on the right side of the screen. The lady on the horse there, she's kind of looking at you with like boredom, like almost some aggravation in her facial expression. However, the gentleman that's sitting on the horse, and I use the term lightly, with, like I said, his large burly chest hanging out from underneath his cloak and his long blonde hair and his piercing blue eyes, he's standing there, sitting on top of his horse, is actually laughing heartily at your efforts. So as you're kind of like a wet cat being pulled out of the bathtub that you were forced to take a bath in or whatever, he's like,
Right looks like the girl out the ring, but with like, and you see her like slip off one of her like heeled boots, and like a bunch of water comes out and a little fish, and she like puts it back on.
Oh, when he sees that happen, he gestures towards it. He's laughing very heartily at it. He found it to be very amusing. The woman is even less amused that he's laughing so heartily. So after his laughter starts to subside or whatever, you can tell that you have his attention. He's listening. Everyone else is watching you intently. Everyone saw Archer's eyes are kind of like scan the land behind you and see what's going on. Which before you get to RPing, Sam, does anybody else come peeking their head out from the hovel behind, or do you guys continue going about your business of make sure Otto is good, breaking things down?
I rolled a 19 with my bird, but then you were doing all that, so I didn't want to like.
You saw all of that stuff. So,
yeah. So Grauman's in the tent. He like kind of sits down Indian style. He takes out his little eagle, one of his eagle carvings, and he just starts like petting the eagle, and then he like throws it up in the air, and because it starts glowing, and it kind of is just floating in front of him, and he's like, his eyes roll back, and like that's kind of what you see is just this wooden thing floating and him doing that.
Okay.
And when Rye, at first he's like, you can see some frustration, but as soon as Rye gets out and she's like, the fish comes out of the boot, you just hear a little chuckle from him. He's like,
since it doesn't seem there's any immediate danger or anything happening, I will be going about to making sure Otto's taken care of, as well as the baby being safe, and just general conversation with the orc women.
Sure, absolutely. Is there anything you're trying to grab from them? Don't answer this question now. Just think of questions that you might want to ask them for when I bring the camera back to you. Back to Sam. So there you are. You have his attention as his laughter starts to subside, and he's the moment is kind of being grabbed by him again. Go ahead.
Almost jokingly, Rye like looks up at the two and is like, "You could have built a bridge, you know."
I did.
You call that a bridge?
For those that are capable.
Oh, not many then.
Well, at least not your kind.
She just nods. Okay. What's going on? What's this?
I'd ask you the same.
Whoa. What do you mean?
Did you spend the night with orcs?
I did.
Are you an orc lover? Do you allow the seed of orc to taint your womb?
Oh, jeez.
Our biology isn't quite. I'm too small. I'm quite petite.
That doesn't seem to bother orcs.
Fanfic right there.
Oh, that's he says. Thanks, Maggie. He says that doesn't bother orcs.
This tends to. And then you see like Rye's tail extend from behind and kind of like wave.
And with that, you see she turns to him and she says something to him in a language that you're not familiar with. You've actually never even heard this language spoken before, and it's certainly not one that you speak as of right now. But she says something to him, like her eyes still kind of on you, but like says it to him with like disdain clearly about you when you say that. He seems pretty much perturbed by it. Like it catches his attention. He follows it as it like moves around a little bit for like a second or two, but his face doesn't show like horror or shock or anything. And then his eyes go back, meeting your eyes again. Looking very much looking down at you.
Rye kind of like drops the act and she kind of looks at him and she kind of opens her hands. She says, "Look, I'm just here to mediate. What do you want? Why is this happening?"
I don't know what this mediate means.
Like, I'm like the middleman.
You're a woman.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
I'm the middle woman.
What does that mean?
Rye looks at the river and she's like, "It's more appealing right now to just jump back in." Honestly.
Maybe you should do that. You'll probably have better chances.
Here's the thing. If you guys don't move and we can't agree on something, I have to come back. And this time, it's not going to be a conversation. And as you see Rye saying this, you see her shadow start to like warp and Rye.
So when he sees this like sorcery happen or whatever, his chest kind of like, he really puffs up his chest and he reaches and he grabs like a battle axe that he has and he kind of slumps it up on his shoulders and he looks down at you with his puffed chest and everything and he's like, "Is this a challenge, little girl?"
She kind of looks at his men and then like places her hands in front. She's like, "Not right now. I don't want to embarrass you in front of your men."
You've been hanging out with Grom and Thonk too long.
Well, yeah. When you say that to him, his face, like he's been relatively playful the entire time. His face completely drops and says, "No woman of the northern people would ever be able to challenge one such as myself. Never. If you looked for a fight, little girl, then you may have one. And he gestures to the woman to his side.
Rye kind of like puts her hands on her hips and she goes, okay, you're an idiot. Good to know. And then she casts invisibility and fucking goes back across the bridge.
Oh, do we have to make you roll again? Do we get to see you splash and flop?
If you want to.
No. It's yes.
You just see her she just vanishes from his
You
sight.
need to like levitate.
Sadly, I don't think he has levitate. So she turns invisible, just turns completely invisible. When you do that, all of a sudden you hear the creaking of the bows as the archers start to like really draw their arrows and like pointing the area where it was. And obviously, Rye's not an idiot. She moves quickly, so she quickly goes to dodge across the bridge. Make me an acrobatics check really quickly. And they launch. So what is it? Where are they standing? 2 arrows are very quickly launched to where it was that you were standing beforehand and hit the ground, but you're obviously not there. And so immediately after that, all 4 archers are each going to shoot 2 arrows, so 8 arrows, like randomly across the bridge as they go. Make me another acrobatics check. Don't roll low. Well, I suppose luckily you splash into the water because by splashing into the water, you're safe from the arrows. So one of the arrows actually would have hit you if you were still standing on the log, but it literally thunks into the log right here, like poof. So it kind of like narrowly misses where you had fallen behind. Make me an acrobatics check to try to climb up and get across again. And you actually do climb back up there and get across from where you were beforehand. These still aren't able to notice you or see you. Do you hop on your horse and ride back over there? Do you call your horse back? Do you leave your horse and go?
She just grabs her horse by the reins and just leads it back.
Okay.
So you see the horse just walk around, turn on its own, and just walk away.
So when that happens, you can see, because I imagine you're looking back and seeing what's going on, and probably even walking on the far side of the horse, because let it take the arrows just in case. You see that while he's standing there still puff-chested and looking around where it is that you might be, the woman is kind of like her eyes narrow as she watches the horse and how it turned to move. Then she raises her own hand and gives a command for everybody to stop shooting arrows, and they listen. And she kind of like leans over and clearly having a conversation with him. And then his eyes also follow the horse as it is led back to where everybody else is. So
does Grauman recognize the language either?
Actually, Grauman would recognize the language, but is not able to speak it. They're speaking, they're Uthgard barbarians, and so they're speaking the native language to them. Grauman doesn't understand it. He just has heard it before.
Okay.
Okay, so Ryan makes the way back, and I'm sure in a very furious way will report what happens. Please.
Yeah, you just see like a puddle of wet footsteps up the steps. She comes into camp looking like a drowned rat, and just reaches for like the nearest like common fur and just starts like rustling her hair and stuff, drying it off.
Can't prestidigitation dry her completely, like instantaneously?
In a couple castings, yes.
Oh, okay, in a couple castings.
Like leg.
Oh, it's
arm,
only that small. I
arm,
thought it was like a bush.
all
done.
my hair. You know, it's what, cubic foot. So.
Grauman is going to like wake up and smash the bird and come back to. And when Rye comes in, he's gonna like make a chuckle and be like, "You need to learn swim. Me teach you sometime."
I know you saw me.
He's like, he just starts chuckling somewhere.
I'm waiting for Grauman to start Aussieing his statues.
Oh, no, we're not going to eat the bird heads. We love the birds. So the lady was so they're a certain type of barbarian, right? What type did you say they were?
These people are Uthgard barbarians.
Uthgar.
Yeah.
Grauman will relay.
Or Youthgard, if you want to pronounce it that way. Yeah, how are we going to pronounce this with a U?
Grauman will mention that.
That won't mean anything to me.
So no, Otto probably, but
I say that to you all, and then you don't recognize what that means, and can I like give them more information, or do I not know much more, or should I roll for that?
You know that there are. You don't have to roll. You know that there are different tribes of the Uthgar or Uthgard barbarians. They each have a different like totem that they worship. You don't know which one. Oh, actually, no. Otto told you last session, which one these ones are. They seem to be those that worship the flying horses. It's literally called the tribe of the Sky Pony. And the tribe of the Sky Ponies' sworn enemy is orcs. To be fair, though, orcs suck.
Grumman.
That is a gross generalization.
Sam,
really
Sam, thank you.
Really
Grumman will mention. He's like, he sees that they don't recognize what he is saying. He's like, no, Uthgar barbarian. They worship flying horses. They don't like those orcs. Like, do they not like orcs as a whole, or just the like specific tribe of orcs?
It's something about your breath and the way that your eyes are shaped, and then like this color of your skin and just your culture.
That's
and
a gross
the tusks,
generalization.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying,
He's
your
like-
toenails just really bug them.
Okay, he's like, they know, like, and he like kind of points at like himself and at Thunk and the baby and so on and so forth. They don't like us.
Then
Well,
they'll
they
die.
didn't much like me either.
Then they'll die. If that's what must happen, then that's what must happen.
I mean, I went over there. They were pretty big jerks. I'm okay with it now.
They shoot at Rye.
Then they die. Simple. I quickly like turn and head back to the Orcish women. The information, by the way, that I would have tried to pull from them, not much, because I don't know what else I would have asked, but my question more or less would have boiled down to like, how much more can the chieftain be throwing at them? Like, how big is their tribe? How much more can he muster to like? Is he willing to? Is this chieftain willing to deplete his entire army to kill this one baby?
They say that she tells you that, the success that you have, you've defeated all that he's willing to send this way, and perhaps even had the other ones leave with their tucked tails back in such a way that they might even lie and say that they were successful. They're fools. When we return and inform the war chief that they were not successful, they will be punished for it.
Well, on that note, Thonk asks, why do you plan on returning? And telling him. Does she mean like in years you're returning?
We must return. We have our place with our tribe. We need to be there for them.
Then who would take care of who's going to take care of the child?
The other tribe.
Oh, they're depositing the child with another tribe. Gotcha. I forgot about that, actually. My apologies. That's fine.
It's like an allied tribe.
Yeah, they're like, we'll take care of the kid. That makes sense. That's fine. All right, so we're basically, as long as we're on this side of the river, we're safe indefinitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was basically what I was looking for. I'll inform the Orcish women that there's likely to be a fight with the humans on the other side.
Yeah. How many humans do we see?
There were 4 archers, 2 that were standing there with long spears, and then the man and the woman that were standing there on the horses. So only 8 of them. That's not that many.
No. I could take them.
Grumman
All by
starts
yourself.
counting, but only gets to like 2 and then doesn't make sense. And he says, there are not many of them. And he puts down like an eagle for how many people he saw, because he can't really count, but he can show you and where they were positioned. And he say, I think we take them. I mean, he points and looks around at like all the other people we just murdered, which was like a lot.
And you said how many? I apologize. How many were there?
There are 8.
8. Yeah.
4 archers, and then the 2 main people, like the gentleman and the lady that were giving shit to Rye, and then 2 others.
Rye, how likely is it that you could get across the river and get behind them unseen?
Pretty likely I can go invisible.
But I'm saying like that's his point. Like get there without being heard or seen.
Grumman laughs. if she learned to swim.
Oh.
Rye like scowls at Grumman and then like looks back at Thunk. She's like, I can do it.
If we're to attack them, I'd like to have you fire taking out the archers as we attack on the front. They'll be surprised.
One of the leader of the orc ladies, the priestesses of Luthic, her name is, I have it written right here. Her name is somewhere. Volo, something like that. So
athletic checks too. That's going to be horrible.
Volo goes over, hearing that this is what your plan is for Rye to do. She goes over, and you can hear she's walking over the ones that speak Orcish, that she's cursing under her breath, cursing in the name of Grumsh and Luthic about the lesser races. But then she goes up to Rye and says a prayer over Rye to Luthic and actually puts a spell on her. You can roll me an Arcana check, please, Mathis.
Okay. I was going to say, is it guidance, but it might just be like a really good swim spell or something. Arcana. 13.
It was a water walk.
Oh, fucking hell. There you go. Beautiful. That's really good. So, would Rye know automatically? Like, does she know that? Okay. So I'll look to Rye and be like, you can walk on water. Now, temporarily, of course. And I'll look to her and give her like a respectful.
I the first time.
You didn't quite tell us you were going anywhere.
Sure.
No, I'll give her a respectful nod.
Rye thanks her in Orchid, like one of the only words she knows.
Mm-hmm.
And,
which is like die or something, or retreat, or
cut.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice, good.
So basically, Thonk explains his plan is I want Rye to get behind them, and when we
Grumman's like showing this as you're explaining.
Yeah, that works. I'd like me and Grumman to approach. The thing is, like, as me and Grumman are trying to get across, they're going to be firing at us. They're not going to try and talk. Asking the lady, does she have any more of those water walking spells? Can she spare 2 more or no?
She shakes her head no.
Okay.
But she does walk up to Grumman and places a hand on Grumman's chest, and you know, because it feels nice, and starts praying to Luthic to watch over and to give vigor and strength to this mating creature. And she's actually going to cast enhance ability, but specifically the bear's endurance version of enhance ability on Grumman, which gives 2d6 temporary health points and advantage on constitution checks.
Oh.
But like, because you don't have Otto giving you all those temp HP that you guys usually get to reap the benefit of. And she will go over to Thunk, and she'll do the same thing, casting a spell. And she's actually going to cast on Thunk Eagle's Splendor, giving him advantage on charisma checks.
Okay.
And it's a prayer to give this mating creature the silver tongue to find his mate.
Well, I'd like to try and get across the river without having them fire arrows at us. If that means, trying to talk to them until we get across, so be it. I want to give Rye a head start to get across the water first. Me and Grumman to cross, try and talk to them. And if a fight breaks out, once the fight breaks out, that's when Rye can just fucking open fire from behind them, and we just flank them. I mean, 8 versus 3, I have confidence in our abilities to take them out after what happened last week, so...
Awesome. So you go and you guys kind of get this plan or whatever. As you guys are getting together your plan, you can see that some of the other priestesses are getting ready and they're praying over you guys. They cast bless on the party.
Can we short rest before I leave again?
That's funny. They cast water walk on you. It lasts 1 hour, and a short rest is 1 hour.
Man, okay.
So yes, the answer is yes.
I'll lose water walk. Or we could have short rested before she water walks me.
Could have, but then the DM can't put you on a stringent timeline.
Here's the thing: it takes me like an hour to dry my hair and clothes, so it's like.
It was like a short rest anyway,
Oh,
right?
and to be clear, she cast enhance ability on one of you, and another one of the priestesses cast enhance ability on another one of you. Just
Right, no short rest. All right. Be like that.
All right, let's do this then.
Or a mad down or anything.
We'll attempt this after a short
You
break.
can just take off clothes.
Ooh.
I mean, ooh, shit. I want some fan art. No, I don't want.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind. I lied. I don't want any of that. All right,
Oh,
we'll
wait,
be back.
fan art of me stripping?
Yes,
What?
please. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in like 5 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.